Hello everyone, this is Board and Games and Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I'm going to show you how to play Artemis First Contact, which is a new roll and write game where you have discovered an ancient tablet left over by the ancient astronauts, and it's going to tell you where different planets are out in outer space. You need to discover their coordinates by completing rows or columns, and that's going to unlock the planets. Once you know where they are, you're going to use the labs on your home planet to launch uplinks and colonists so that you can populate these planets and create networks between the planets using satellites so that when you do a production phase, you can harvest from them and get a bunch of goodies and points and win the game. Now, along the way, there's going to be asteroid strikes that are threatening your networks, and the cost to launch everything into outer space is going to be on this launch tracker here. If you don't have to use it much, you're going to get a bunch of points, but the more you use it, you cross these out and your points dwindle and dwindle. It's for 1 to 5 players, by the way. Now, we're going to play it as a solo game because I'm by myself. Normally, what you would do is you would use 2 more dice than the number of players. So if you had 3 players, you use 5 dice. But in a solo game, you're going to use 4 dice. And to set the game up, we're going to do a few things here. First of all the players in the game have to label their labs with different numbers. Since I'm by myself, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, I'm left-handed, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to roll a die so that I get a free goodie from one of these. It says 6. Now, what that 6 is going to do is actually a great start. That 6 is going to activate my expeditions lab. There's a yellow worker in there, okay, and that's a pocket op symbol. And then when I go to pocket op symbol, I can use that. That's going to trigger the pocket ops, and then pocket ops is going to give me the ability to flip a die in the future. So I already have a way to manipulate dice, and that's great. Then what I'm going to do is unlock one of these planets as my home planet. Wow, again, I rolled a 6. Now in the game, when we're doing this part, like, a 1 means A, a 2 means B. Okay, so essentially 6 is going to be F, that's Frank's place, that's unlocked. And if I look over here on the ancient tablet, I can go ahead and cross out this column for the F planet because I already discovered it. I live on there. And that's going to help me complete these other coordinates for different planets too. And with that, the game is set up and ready to go. So how does it play? It's going to be like this. You're going to roll these dice, and they're going to kind of fall. You're going to put them in a row, kind of like the way they just kind of fell naturally on the table. Okay, so one, you're going to do that, and now you're going to draft your dice. You have a bunch of dice here. You're going to pick 1 die at a time. So to keep it simple, I'm going to go ahead and just pick this number 1, okay, for myself. That number 1, I can use in a couple of different ways. I can use it to fill out a number 1 on the ancient tablet, which is, in this top row here, or this bottom row here. I can use it to activate my number 1 lab, which is the academy, and that'll give me colonists to stick up there. I could also use a 1 to fill in specific buildings on planets I've unlocked. Now, in this case, on Frank's place, the planet that I've unlocked, I actually have a big structure here, a 4-unit red structure that accepts number 1s. When I complete a structure and I fill every unit, it's ready to be harvested. If I fill out the small blue ones, it's going to give me 1 colonist to fill out something. If I fill out the 3-unit structure, that's going to give me 1 victory point. And if I fill out the 4-unit structure, it's going to give me a victory point and an asteroid defense. Asteroid defenses are going to come in because at the end of the round, we're going to roll a die, and like that says number 6, and it's going to attack a satellite that has the number 6 on it. And if you destroy a satellite, you've lost the link between them, and your harvesting of larger networks goes away. But if I have a defense, I can block that number. Okay, so that can help you out. So let's just pretend that was a 6 from the start. So I drafted that 1. I'm going to go ahead and go to this lab for the academy, and I'm going to get these 2 colonists. Now, the 2 colonists are on Earth, or whatever planet you're starting on, and you need to get them in outer space. So they're not out there yet. I would have to launch them into outer space. That'll come later. The AI is going to take a die from himself, usually the rightmost, and then I get to choose. I have a 5 and a 6. So I think what I'm going to do here, okay, check it. This is the way you've got to combo your die. I'm going to take 6. The 6 is going to come over here to the expeditions, and that's going to give me the ability to clone. I'm going to use that cloning, okay? That cloning comes over to lab number 4, and that's going to give me a 2 timeser. Okay, 2 times. I'm going to use my 2 times die, and I'm going to double that 1 I had, and now I have 4 workers available. That is pretty rad. Okay, so I drafted my die, I applied my die. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the asteroid. The asteroid is a number 5. So that 5, once again, is going to attack a satellite that has a 5 on it. Since I'm over here, you know what? This is a really bad situation. The 2 satellites right by my planet both have 5s written. Now you'll notice that one up here says 1s and 6s attack it. 1s and 2 attack this one. This one says 5 and 6, and this one says 4 and 5. So in either way, I'm in bad shape. So if I'm looking at F, shoot, I'm just going to cross something off. Okay, so that's 1/3 of the way towards being destroyed. Oh well, what can I do? Now you can go ahead and launch. So again, here I am the launch. I'm going to lose my number 5 VP right there. And I'm going to go ahead and launch these 4 workers on space. Now, I only have 1 planet I can apply it to because I've only discovered Frank's place. But I am going to fill out that unit and that unit. So now my blue structure is completely filled. I'm going to launch my 2 red ones here and here. That's partially filled. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the production phase. Had I had any of my production here circled, I could have applied it and produced something, but I didn't do production. I chose dice that didn't let me do that. The first one is a neutral color, so that activates in any season. The other ones are color-coded. Since I'm in part of the calendar that is blue, I would have needed either the neutral or a blue section to activate it, but I don't have any, so what can I do? Now, eventually what's going to happen is you're going to be in seasons that have double strikes. In that case, you're going to use a die that you already had. Like, let's say it was that number 5 that we used a second ago. Where is it? Right there. But then the second one, to make it kind of like a gamble, you're going to roll. And this time it says 4. Eek! Okay, so the 4, again, that could attack either a satellite by my building or maybe one that's a little further away. And I'm going to go ahead and just spread the pain right there. And basically, that's how the game works. You're going to do that until all the seasons are done, if you can get that far without destroying yourself. And they're going to score your points, and you're going to see who's the winner.